Emotional boundaries, this makes up the invisible line between your emotions and your responsibilities and the emotions and responsibilities of other people in your life. So what happens when we have weak or disordered emotional boundaries? We take on other people's stuff, like it's yours, or you feel responsible for fixing their issues, right? It can also mean you feel guilty about other people's feelings, right? Especially if you think you've hurt someone else's feelings, or if someone is trying to guilt you into doing something, you're very susceptible to that. Or if someone doesn't approve of what you're doing. Sabrina said, I feel so guilty for other people's feelings and I hate it. Yes, but here's the thing. That is a boundary issue, babe. You really can change that. When you learn this, what we're talking about today, you really get clear about what is your side of the street. So let's talk a little bit about what are some of the symptoms of having disordered emotional boundaries. Chronic indecision. So if you have a hard time making decisions, or you ruminate about what you did or didn't do, right? You did or didn't decide basically in the past, sort of second guessing, right? You might do copious amounts of research before making a decision. And listen, some research makes sense, but I find that with my therapy clients, the ones that have really disordered emotional boundaries can't make a decision. It's like they're trying so hard not to make a mistake that they're doing an incredible amount of research to be like, I want to make the right choice. You may have excessive worry about making mistakes, like my clients, which inspires you to ask everyone around, as we were saying before, what they think you should do. Being in a chronic state of indecision is absolutely exhausting and can block you from taking action in your life, because a lot of times, if we wait so long because we're doing all the research, hey, those decisions can end up getting made for us. Those opportunities can suddenly disappear. Elisa said, is it a form of perfectionism? Yeah, it can fall into that category too. But I find that when you have disordered emotional boundaries, which is basically perfectionism is also a symptom of it, you get stuck in this pattern of being so afraid to make the wrong thing. And what is that? Fear of rejection, fear of being ridiculed, fear of all the things. There's a million things to be afraid of. Another symptom is codependency. What does it mean to be codependent? Like, what does it actually mean? The way that I describe it, it means you are overly invested in the feeling states, the outcomes, the circumstances, and the decisions of the people in your life to the detriment of your own internal peace. So you got that? You're overly invested in what other people are doing, what other people are deciding, and it's interrupting your internal peace. It could be your well-being. It could be your financial well-being, where you're bailing people out. So how can you tell? And right now, we can do it, right? How can you tell if you are responding or reacting in a codependent way? I want you to check your urgency, right? If your friend, your best friend, gets in touch with you and they have a problem, they're in a crisis, check your urgency. How quickly does it feel like that problem is yours right now? And it becomes yours. How compulsively do you feel compelled to fix it? That is a codependent response. When we cannot tolerate the way we're feeling about someone else having a problem, someone else being in pain, especially if it's someone that we're close to. Another disordered emotional boundary or codependent red flag. Every time you think, I don't want them to think, when you think that in your mind, or I don't want them to feel, I want you to take note, because you've suddenly trampled on someone else's side of the street. This is an indication that you need to get the heck back onto your own side of the street, because what they think and how they feel is their side of the street. So make a note. How often do you think, I don't want them to think, I don't want them to feel?